Scott Hasten, in the spirit of Halloween, what is the craziest exploitation story with the supernatural you or Amanda have encountered?
I think he means exploration.
I like exploitation.
No,
I exploited the shit out of you on Halloween one night. You had a schoolgirl costume on, and cat ears.
I don't remember cat ears.
And a tail. How'd you have that tail connected?
I don't remember a tail either.
Go ahead. I don't have any really ghost stories. I mean, but I do have to super pee a lot. I need a piss tube put in here so I can just pee through the wall. I'll be right back. Go ahead and talk. Tell them about the burning witch.
Oh, so we, from one of our friends who is an antique dealer, we got this really cool wooden figure, and it's a carving of a witch. So in like the 1700s, 1800s, when the witch craze was going on, everybody was afraid of witches. They would put these carvings on the chimneys in the houses, and the thought was that this figurine would protect the house from the witches going down the chimney. So it's all wood. We brought it in, and weird things started to happen. You would see things out of the corner of your eyes. Doors would close on their own when there was no reason for them to close. In fact, it happened to John one time when he was on live feed. He was upstairs on live feed, probably on Facebook, and one of the doors to the rooms just like slams closed, and he was like on the other side of the room. So we had a lot of weird things like that. And then our friend Carrie took it to his house to make a cradle for it so that we could display it. And he lives in a historical home that had like slave quarters and all that stuff. And when he brought the witch back, none of that weird stuff happened. So we think that her ghost stayed at Carrie's house.
Yeah. It's a big, huge plantation house. There is some tree on the property that is registered as the largest one of those trees in the world. There's a basement under the house that has shackles and shit still there. To this day, and there's a lot of weird stuff that happens in the house. It looks exactly like you think a historic haunted house looks, and it's on a big, huge, beautiful property. It's an amazing place.
He said it is 100% haunted.
The family is amazing. Like his mom is super cool. Like it's all of those family members achieve at a very, very high level, and they are all craftsmen.
That's cool. What I was going to say about that thing is, so there's where it's at, there's a lot of creepy stuff, but like you just look at it and you're like, oh, that's creepy. You know, it's intended to be creepy.
Right.
That thing, you look at it and you're like, this is creepy for a different reason. Like you feel like it's been around when bad shit happened.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
It gives you that feeling.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the thing that, like, I always gravitate towards it when I'm up there because it's
interesting.
Well, I get the feeling that I need to stay away from it, so I'm like always like close, like looking at it, like, why is this thing give me that feeling?
Yeah.
And then when you hear the backstory, it adds to that.
Right.
You know.
And I mean, there's plenty of things. We'll be at an antique store or a flea market or something, and he picks something up, and I'm like, yeah, that's not coming home with us. We're just gonna leave that right
that's
here.
That's never fucking happened, because believe me, if it was that authentic, we would definitely buy it. And also on the Freemason thing, somebody sent me a Freemason's book to build a cover off of. So I actually have but 2 sizes. So we're going to do some covers specifically for those.
I thought that you weren't supposed to talk about being a Freemason unless somebody asked you about it.
To be one, ask one.
Yeah, so isn't he like breaking the rules by making that comment?
I don't know. If I was a Freemason, would I be allowed to tell you on this video right here?
I don't know.
Aaron Kinder. My wife and I set a goal to not eat out for any meal this month. That's fucking awesome. This includes stopping at the gas station to grab an energy drink. I think that's even more important. Snack, etc. We are doing this as part of a larger goal to reduce our wasteful spending and reduce lifestyle creep as we make more money. Have you noticed lifestyle creep over the years as your business grows? And if so, how have you or haven't you addressed it? So I'm absolutely, we have had lifestyle creep. I mean, we moved here to live in a house and grow a garden and work with 3 employees. I mean, we scaled up to 24 employees. We went from a building full of mold and mice to we went from a 1,000 square foot building, and then took the other part of the building, and then took the building on the property and went to 3 buildings, and then bought this property. Absolutely, there's been creep. There's probably a ton of stuff that we pay for on a monthly basis that we're not even at this point aware of. I always think I'm going to add one of those little apps that like cancels subscriptions and shit. What's our cable bill cost?
$150.
We have a $150 cable bill. We don't ever watch TV. The satellite, I feel like it was even more than $150 at one point.
That is the cable bill. The satellite is the cable bill.
So we have satellite for TV, but we also have Benton County cable.
No.
We don't have Benton County cable any longer?
We have not had Benton County cable
so
for a long time.
What's my other network in here that comes from Benton County cable?
That's internet. That's not
right,
cable.
But it's still cable. And then we also now have Starlink, so we have 2 internets on the property.
Which makes life a lot easier, by the way.
It does. I'm sure there's stuff still. I have 78 domain names.
Yeah.
That we don't even use.
We spend a lot of money on GoDaddy.
We have a lot of, which you can do better than GoDaddy for sure. It was just convenient at the time. We have a lot of things set up that we're paying hosting on for websites that we haven't used. Like I still have websites up and running right now that we haven't been a going concern for a decade probably. I mean, there's absolutely. I know that's not exactly what you asked. Thinking about the Range Rover, you said you'd never drive or some other purchase. You look back. So I have a ton of cars I don't buy. I don't drive. I hate dealing with people. Like, I would literally be more profitable if I went to sell the Range Rover and the dude's like, will you take 5,000 less? I would make, like, the no bullshit answer is I would make more money taking the Range Rover and doing donuts and turning it on its side and getting out and be like, oh well, and throw a road flare in there and run a discount code with a promotional video and some social media posts and make probably way more fucking money in sales that weekend than we would ever make just selling the Range Rover straight out.
Plus, fuck that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I like when I kind of joke about it, but it's probably true that we spend more money putting new batteries in vehicles than putting fuel in vehicles every year. And we have tenders on everything. We got NOCO smart chargers everywhere. They just don't get plugged in. I need a dude who is super meticulous and organized, good note taker, to be like my assistant / take care of all my bullshit, curate my collection, dust things. Just like, I need somebody that does that stuff. And I could totally do that, but I'm busy doing what I do. So,
see, that would be a lifestyle inflation thing, having a guy that did all your bullshit that you didn't want to do. But what you just mentioned, that's all business stuff that's bringing your business farther along.
Correct.
So it's not lifestyle. You're just investing in yourself.
Well, I think that my lifestyle is my business.
Yeah.
And my business is my lifestyle.
100%.
And they are so commingled. There is not a separation. Like, when people like, how do you need a vacation? Like, when we go on vacation, I have a laptop in my lap. I have a phone right here. I've got cameras. Like, we're constantly content and other things. Like, that's everything we do. Like, we film everything. There's so much footage. People have no clue what they don't see. Like, we were just told by an analyst or an advisor to post less videos, right? We have fucking 20 times more videos than have ever been seen.
Yeah.
The idea of going on vacation literally stresses me out, because there's all the logistics of going on the vacation, and then when I'm on the vacation, I'm going to be thinking I should be at work doing X, Y, and Z.
That's my thought.
And when I get back to work, I'm going to have 10 days worth of X, Y, and Z.
It's always what it is. Every day out, it takes 3 to catch up, and that's revenue too.
Yeah,
that's money. And like, missed days, like when we do something and we don't put out an email or a text, right? That's at minimum $3,000 to $5,000 that didn't happen that day. That money never gets caught up the next day because you need $3,000 to $5,000 bare minimum the next day. So you're never going to make 6 to 10. You might make 3 to 5 that day, but you're never getting those funds back. They're never coming back to you once you've missed them.
It's just a missed opportunity.
Think about the Range Rover you said you'd never drive, or other purchases you look back and think you could have put the money into better use. I've never really thought that. Like, I will always just make more money if there's something that I want. Hublot watches, like we bought Hublot watches. I went to buy an Audemars, and the dude was just a dick at the Audemars store, and I'm like, well, fuck it, I'll just go buy more Hublots, and we did. We bought 3 more fucking Hublots that trip. I have Hublot watches anywhere from $25,000 to $36,000. If I had to, to save my life, if I had to sell those Hublot watches today, I'd be hard pressed to get probably 15 out of that King Power Ferrari carbon fiber. If I took my time, I could probably sell it for 25. But like if I needed to sell it immediately today, like if it was a Rolex, you'd be able to double your money on it today.
That's what I was gonna say about people that talk shit about Rolex. The thing about Rolex is anywhere in the world, they know Rolex.
So nobody talks shit about Rolex except motherfuckers that don't have the money to buy Rolex. Like that's the real I didn't buy a Rolex because when I put it on, it was small. It's the same size as a Seiko, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted something more grand, and it served its purpose. I mean, just doing the video alone paid more than we made more money from the one client that we got that saw that video than I made in sales. He bought probably 100 times more product than that watch cost. Mm-hmm. And then the relationship I have from buying that first watch with Hublot the company, as well as Robert the salesman for Hublot, who has now moved on to a different company. It's a very, very big company. Mm-hmm. And then just being invited to the Hublot events, the Pacquiao fight and the Ferrari events where you can come out and drive the new Ferraris. And then meeting Glenn from Hublot. Glenn Hublot is another Instagram account. Mm-hmm. Just having access to those dudes, that was the cost of entry, and we made way more money off of that. It did. And the only reason, I didn't even know what Hublot was until... Who was it? Was it Jay-Z and Kanye West did that collaboration? Big Face Rolly, I got Hublot. Mm-hmm. Big Face Rolly, I got 2 of those. Arm Out the Window. That's I looked it up. I didn't know what Hublot was. That's where I found Hublot. Louboutins. Where's your bitch's Birkin bag at? 50 Cent did a song that I'm like, this motherfucker can't say Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
And I said it. I go, what's he taught? And we looked at. I started buying Louboutin shoes then because of bags. Yeah. Literally because of the song, because I wanted to be able to use the hashtag.
But that also puts you in rooms or in conversations with people that can afford that.
Absolutely, it does.
That's the big goal with those luxury items. There's so much more, stuff that you can do with $30,000 instead of a watch. But what's that gonna do for you in the future?
It worked for me.
Yeah.
And the watch thing, it really started because you can go back on Facebook and see every single post I have ever made, except the ones they removed. But what you'll see consistently for years is at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, I was taking a picture of my watch with a Ford steering wheel. Nobody ever said shit. Hey, right on. Hard work will pay off. Few people, realized what it was I was showing. When the watch changed to a tag, Formula One, some dudes would kind of start talking shit. When the steering wheel changed to a Range Rover, more people started talking shit. When it went to a Panerai, more shit. When it became a Porsche, and then it was another Porsche, fucking lot of shit talking. When it became a Hublot, tons, and dudes were crawling out of the woodwork, and they're tagging this account called Fake Watch Buster. Mm-hmm. So Fake Watch Buster, I'm like, please do. Yeah. Please, I wish a motherfucker would, right? Uh-huh. Because I would tag Hublot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I would tag Hublot Las Vegas, and they were like, not only is this not a fake watch, he's bought 5 of them.
In person.
And we know John Willis, right? Uh-huh. So it diffused that, but while that was happening and brewing, the algorithms worked different. So I would take the shit talker and use his name as a discount code. We didn't ever know him. We never knew he would have existed had he not posted on my account. So we'd be like, okay, 20% off this weekend. Shit Talker J is the discount. Whatever his name was would be the discount code. And I would say, you have to post here what your order number is, what you ordered, and tag the shit talker. And the shit talker would literally have to private his account or lock it down. Always. And a lot of these dudes back then, they had their phone numbers. So we'd have 200 dudes calling this dude all weekend long. He'd have to change his phone number. Like put him on auto dialers and all kinds of shit. And we would make like, our account got locked down over, I don't even remember what it was over. So
something stupid.
And the AR15.com said, yeah, we reported your account and your account's locked for 30 days. I'm like, all right, well, I guess we'll go on vacation. So we
went to Vegas.
We took everybody to Vegas, and I posted Aimless Loves the Cock was the discount code. Aimless was the moderator on one of these forums. It was talking all the shit and instigating everything. He's a lawyer out of New York. So we made a discount code, 20% off, got you the discount. Aimless Loves the Cock, and his avatar picture was a penguin. So we made like a black and white combat cock was what you're going to get. We got on a plane, and I had posted the discount link. I posted the code, and then we, like 10 minutes later, boarded the plane. The flight took 4 hours to get to Las Vegas. When we landed in Las Vegas and had service, we had done $60,000 in sales in the 4 hours. And we went and rented out tracks, and we fucking drove every exotic car they had.
And I melted down a Lamborghini.
$10,000 dinner at Nobu. Like we went to Nobu probably 3 times on that trip. Went and bought watches and clothes and just hung out and had a good time. By the time we got home, we had done over $120,000 on the discount code. The trip didn't cost $120,000. Plus, I had every time I bought watches in cash. Like I'm like, Dana, hey, I'm going through the airport like with 20 grand. Is that an issue? He's like, break it up. If it's an issue, call me. I will come down there.
I've always wanted to see how much cash can fit into some of your guys' bigger bags. You know, like a
lot.
Bag,
the answer is a lot.
You know, it's more than what I have. You know, but that's kind of like, if I had it, I would love to see how much.
The answer is it's going to be so heavy you don't want to carry it.
And the problem is that some overzealous asshole, and they don't take it because they think they have found a crime. They take it because they are jealous of what you are doing. That's really what happens. So looking back on all that stuff, I own a pair of $6,500 Louboutin shoes. I own multiple pairs of $2,000 Louboutin shoes. I own everything that I wanted from Prada. I own everything that I wanted from Louis Vuitton. We bought so much stuff from Louis Vuitton that I have a private shopper in Las Vegas and Atlanta and
Cool Springs
and Nashville from Louboutin, and they know. Luckily, they know, because I don't even know what the fucking date is, so it doesn't matter when her birthday is. But my shopper knows that Amanda's birthday is coming up in 2 weeks. My shopper knows Valentine's coming up, and we buy what's called the Runway Collection, and they only make 1,000, I think 100 pieces or 1,000 through the entire company. And they're like, hey, we know that you like to buy black and red stuff for Amanda, and this has all these grommets, and it's super cool looking. Would you like to I have this bag. I can have it transferred in. There's one in wherever right now. So I bought a ton of stuff because of the service they gave me. They would text me those things. And at any time, I could be like, hey, I want one of these things. And I could literally come in when the store wasn't open. I could come in. A lot of people don't realize they have a VIP. Like when you go to all the malls, especially like in Las Vegas, for instance, there's a valet and there's a VIP valet. And all of the stores, Prada and Tiffany and everywhere, they have a private elevator and they have private entrances that come through the catwalks. So like when Jay-Z and Beyonce were there the day before we were at Prada, and the dressing room was set up for Beyonce, and they had her dresses and shit in there. And then when we went in, there's a VIP lounge that's literally behind a mirror. You would never know it's there. Know. And Jay-Z, it was set up, Jay-Z was there. And Sebastian's rolling around in this fucking mink
chinchilla
blanket, and I'm like, stop rubbing that. What is this? And he's, oh, sir, that's a chinchilla. I go, how much is it? $68,000. I'm like, get the fuck off of that. But I bought Miss Prada likes to make games and kids toys and stuff, and I'm like, this chessboard is badass. Can I buy? How much are these?
Mm-hmm.
They had to call around like to fucking 10 different people to get them, but I bought it. There's only 2 in existence. I have it in my office.
That's cool.
But it's because of those things, right?
Yeah.
So looking back at that, I have a closet. My closet is
It's 14 by 14.
14 by 14, and it's all industrial wire racking. I can't tell you the last time I put on a button-up shirt. I have like Alexander McQueen button-up shirts, $1,200, badass, like fucking skulls all through the pinstriping and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I can't fit it right now. My lats are too fucking big,
Oh, your
and
muscles are too
my
big
arms
to wear
are
your
my
shirt.
arms are literally too big.
Poor baby.
My arms are literally too big to put the shirt on. Like I tried to put the shirt on maybe a year ago, it's hanging in my office, and I just couldn't do it. It
Like
was ridiculous.
There's
The
no way
buttons were-
he wouldn't even be able to move.
So I have all this shit that would I be better off with the cash? No, I would have spent the cash somewhere else. I wouldn't have anything to show for it. I got a lot of time and it did what it needed to do.
You were talking about having a $10,000 dinner at Nobu.
We had a $17,000 dinner at Nobu.
Man.
So that waiter, who else is he waiting on, and who else is his clients?
Yeah.
And what would a $1,500 tip, which on a $1,700,
We tipped way more than that.
I was gonna say $1,500 is actually really low for a bill that size.
Yep.
But what would that do for you? And that's what I'm talking about. Like, if you take care of the guy who takes care of all the guys.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's the club. That's the luxury goods club. You know,
It's the Hublot thing, right? When I'm in a restaurant and I see a dude with a Hublot, I can be like, "Nice watch, bro," and he's gonna immediately look at mine, and then there's something that's
and then they become best friends.
It's the introduction, right?
I actually had that. I don't want to say his name because he told me that there was some stuff going on with it, but there was somebody here who was wearing an Audemars Piguet. And I said, I see that you're wearing an AP. And he was like, nobody ever knows what this is. And he bought it because people don't know what it is. And that's why I don't want
So
to
you're talking about Jeff?
Yeah.
So
Okay. I was
going to say, I always call it Audemars Peugeot. How do you actually pronounce it?
And so if the actual pronunciation is Audemars Piguet or Puiguet.
Does he say it that way?
No, I call it
know.
Audemars Piguet. That's like the American, like Porsche.
I guarantee Rob doesn't know that's how it's pronounced
But
either.
I told him I see your AP because everybody knows AP.
Right.
Who knows what that is? And we had a discussion like he specifically didn't get a Rolex because he didn't want people thinking he had an expensive watch when that watch is 4 times the cost of a Rolex.
But it just I look at those Audemars and they just look like fucking old man watches.
They are.
It looks like it's a lesser version of a Hublot, right?
Okay, so there's a guy. His name is Gerald Genta. Look him up. He was the watch designer of the day in the 60s. Everything that he's designed looks like that, and I'm almost positive he worked for Hublot too.
Because doesn't Hublot mean portal?
Yeah.
I think that's, and it all comes from the nautical somehow.
So the Nautilus, Gerald Genta did, the Royal Oak, the AP Royal Oak he did. There's another one, Gerard Perregaux.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other huge brand that nobody's ever heard of. He designed for them. So all of those watches look the same because they all came from him.
You should have these conversations with Justin Souders.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to.
And you should have these conversations with Greg Tchaikovsky. Because I promise they know these guys that you're talking about.
So Justin was sitting here the other day with me, and he was wearing a Tudor. I think it was a Pelagos.
Justin loves Tudor.
Yeah, and a Tudor Pelagos is not something that people recognize, but I did. So I talked to him about it, and he was like, "I can't believe you knew what this was."
Yeah, I went to buy a Black Shield when they came out with the black. I was buying anything that was black and red.
Yeah.
We went to. I wanted a black Steel Avenger, a Super Avenger, the big one.
Yeah, the Breitling.
Mm-hmm. So it was midnight, and Kane texted us, and he's like, "Bro, I'm at the Palazzo in the lobby, and they have it." So we got up and went down there at fucking 1 o'clock in the morning and bought this watch from this Israeli lady. We bought a couple of them, and I went in there. Originally, I was in there to look at that, the Black Shield, and I wasn't in love with Tudor. I just was not. But their branding was good with the black and red. That's why I was going to buy the Audemars, because they had just come out with a black and red one.
Yeah.
And then that dude was just a fucking cock.
So Tudor depends on who you get to deal with because Tudor is owned by Rolex.
Tudor was left Rolex. It was a dude that worked for Rolex.
Yeah. Well, what they do is they use Tudor because Rolex is timeless, so you can't change it. Rolex has to look the same forever because that's their deal. They're timeless. It looks like the same. But those guys want to try new shit, so they do it with Tudor. And Tudor came out with a watch that was in collaboration with Tiger Woods. It's called a Tudor Tiger, and it's a Rolex Daytona. And you can get them in special colors and all that shit, but a Rolex Daytona is minimum $25,000 now. You get a Tudor Tiger for $4,000,
right.
and if you don't need the name because it was made by the same people, that's a really good option, you know.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah, it all started like with Blackout Concept for me.
Yeah.
So Blackout
Tudor did that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Blackout Concept is actually a company out of Geneva, and you send them your $10,000 Rolex, and you can they have a awesome website. You can pick your colors, your date, your highlights, and they'll show you exactly what you watch. So you send them a $10,000 watch, they take it apart, completely void your warranty, charge you $5,000 to bedazzle it, and send you a watch back that has no resale value for the most part. But then Rolex came out, realized all these people were doing it, so Rolex actually released full black Rolexes. There was no such thing as a blacked out, murdered out Rolex, right? And then also talking about Rolex and Tudor, Panerai came to exist because they were taking Rolexes and ruggedizing them and making them more waterproof for the Italian seals, and that's how they came to be. And even them now, with the Carbotex and stuff, they have all blacked out. My Panerai I have was custom built. Jeremy had it fully taken apart, PVD'd. They did an anti-reflective coating on the outside and the inside of the glass. Put tons of extra lume, relumed all the numbers and hands and shit. And when I got that from him, you could not get a black Panerai. They didn't exist. That was literally the only one we'd ever seen. And now all these companies are making full-on murdered-out watches.
Panerai is an interesting company, too, because their story sells it to me. It's a plain-looking watch to me.
When you walk in their stores, though, you are sold. Same with Breitling.
And what I was going to say was, because of that, because Panerai is understated, they're the first ones, specifically right now, to start dropping in price. Rolex is going, everything's going down. Panerai you can get for dirt cheap right now because the people who see them on TV and stuff don't get it.
They don't realize what it is.
On the other hand, when you see a dude with a Panerai, you know that's not his only watch.
Yeah.
Like that's a dude I want to have a conversation with, right? Because like when I wear some, like even my black and blue, they look at it and people automatically assume it's a Rolex. It's a Seiko. But when I wear any of my other shit, but the Panerai, I've had more conversations over the Panerai than any other watch I've ever put on combined. Because dudes that know what a Panerai is know what the Panerai is.
That's exactly what I mean. Like it's so understated, but if you know what's up, then you know.
Yeah. So I know this is totally, Aaron, not at all what you just asked. I have many items that brought me temporary joy that I slightly regret purchasing, as the money could have been used elsewhere on things to better my situation instead of temporary happiness, like a new gun, camping gear, gimmick, etc. Hindsight 2020.
So sell it and use the money for something else.
I wouldn't even tell you that, man. I would tell you, how did you get the money to buy those things that you thought you wanted? Do more of that shit. Figure out something. Like when we had the last SRF 2 weeks ago, SRF 4, Self-Reliance Festival, the Swales installation class, the planting class on Friday the day before, we had a girl out here who runs an enormous YouTube channel, but she is a YouTube social media consulting company to many enormous companies. And she said, so busy, she'd said something to the effect of her making money, multiple revenue streams. But she said, everybody's so busy chasing $10,000 deals and trying to make $10,000 deals, you can do the exact same amount of effort for $100,000 deals. And when you start looking at a lot of these, it's usually young dudes making these TikToks and Instagram reels and stuff on business development and business advisory. But that's the common thing, right? If you are a salesman, sell expensive shit because your margin, your profit is much larger. your percentage. If you're making 5% on a $10 million deal, 5% on $10 million is a lot more than 10% on, $1,000. So, and that's just kind of like, start something that makes money, especially, and a lot of times we overlook the ability at that dollar amount, but we discard we overlook the ability to get paid on the fly, right? That's money, fence post money, me, you, and the fence post. Nobody else knows about it. So people don't realize that for every dollar they make, by the time they lose that dollar and spend that dollar, they've paid over 60% in taxes, the best case scenario. So what can you bring in that nobody knows about, or barter or trade, right? To where it's off the books. And that's a conversation that you need to have with yourself. I understand buying shit. I have tons of stuff all the time. I have a badass office, and I literally walked in there with a couple people at Self-Reliance Festival, and I was like, I haven't been in this room for 6 months. Mm-hmm. And it's full of tons of cool shit, right? I just don't have people around me to stand there and have that conversation. And when I have people that are excited about those things, we can go and have those conversations. But I stay very compartmentalized and very like this is dressed up for me right now. I spend half the day wearing the exact same shirt I wore every other day this week because it's already dirty when I'm outside on the property or cutting wood or doing whatever it is I'm doing. So there's no watch on, right? So I don't know, it's not what I'm focused on right now. But I go in spurts, right? I intentionally don't pause on, Ferraris, because it'll show me more and more Ferraris, and I'll be like, I think I want to buy a Ferrari, and we'll go look at them this weekend. And if I go look at them, we're going to buy one. So I just stay in my lane kind of right now, the lane that I feel like I need to be in. I really believe there's some shit coming. I believe things are getting harder. Amanda came back from the grocery store, the Walmart, Monday evening, and she always pulls up to the kitchen, and I help her unload the groceries. We put them in these folding plastic bins. There was only 3 of them. It used to be that there was 9 of them in the back of the truck. That's exactly what fits in the cargo behind the bed in the back of the 4Runner. And there's 3. And I said, how much was this? She said $750. When there was 9 of them, it was $550. So we're getting a third for 40% more. And the quality of the meat is complete trash that you're getting right now. Like, something is happening for sure. I think everybody watching this video realizes what that actually is. But even for people that deny it, you cannot dispute it. Like, things are happening. So that's where all of my luxury money, it's all gone. Like, Tad just fenced some property at his place. He's putting in some chicken coops or something. And he said he put in 120 T-posts, and he's probably putting them in at 6 feet. So 120 times 6 feet is how much fencing he probably put in there. We fenced just the back. It was $7,500 just on the trailer in T-posts, 4-inch posts, 6-inch posts, and wire. It was $7,500. That's before any labor. It's before anything else that went in there. We had $7,500 just to finish. So that's where my play money's going. That's where any of that stuff was going. Now, all that expensive luxury good stuff, it made me money because of the eyeballs that it caught on social media. But social media doesn't work the same way as it did before. They've definitely throttled it back. So, I don't know.
I was going to say that. So, if you're using luxury goods for advertising, it might not work like it used to. Like, because that's not where people's heads are at right now. A lot of people are worrying about paying rent. They're not worried about
right. And that's why I started, like, that's why I'm wearing Seikos all the time right now, because every one of my customers, I can have that conversation with them. You like this? I could even afford to give it to them, right? I bought 6 of those Seikos just to give to people, right?
Yeah.
So would I give away a Hublot? I would not, right? I wouldn't give away a $36,000 watch. And most of the people don't give a shit about it, but we can have that conversation with the other one. Plus, the dude that's custom building them is just awesome. JP's Custom Wrist Shop. He's always done us very well.
We've talked about this before too. Watch guys know that Seiko is good. So, I mean, I got a Seiko a couple of years ago. It was $200, but I think they're more now, like everything else is. But a $200 watch gets you close to the people who have the $30,000 watches. You're not the same level, but you're close to them because they know that you didn't just get something at Macy's or whatever,
Yeah.
you know. Like
Especially these customs. I mean,
yeah.
they'll build you exactly what you want.
Yeah, and they look beautiful. And there really is any piece that can be removed can be changed to something new.
Yeah, when you talk to him about custom building a watch, there's like 24 things you get to choose.
Yeah.
Whether you want them matte or shiny, whether you want them, checkered or ridged, like, I mean, everything. You want a flat crystal, you want a domed crystal, like everything. You want date, or do you want day and date? Like I wanted my date, my days to be red, right? So it's red and then it's white. That anytime you put red and black on a watch, but you put next to white, the red really shows up more. So it's just so. Here's the last one.
DJ Guzman.
Guzman. Hello, John. The American Pit Bull Terrier breed of dogs has come once again into the spotlight and facing controversy due to the death of 2 toddlers in Florida that were mauled to death by the family pit bull pet dog. There's been a great call to ban this breed of dogs and outlaw ownership as well. You yourself, as an owner of large dangerous dog, would really like to hear your insight on the controversy. What do you think could be the situation? So that's terrible. Haven't heard of it. Before it was pit bulls, it was Rottweilers. Before it was Rottweilers, it was Dobermans. I've owned pit bulls. I've owned Staffordshire Terriers. I would be more worried about this dog out here biting somebody or doing damage than I would of my Staffordshire. His name was Yukon. He bit some lady's dog in our shop, which had a portico that came in, an entryway, the walls, right? And then the entryway was here. There's gates here, and you have to open the gates to come through to get to left door, right door. She opened the gates, or her dog pushed the gate open and came through, and my dog bit her dog inside my shop. And she lost her ever-living fucking mind over it. And the cops came out and like, well, your dog was trespassing, right? You came into this other property. So that's the only experience, luckily, I've had with a dog. I absolutely don't know the situation with the kids. I don't know. Are we talking these were crackheads and
No.
they weren't feed? You know about it?
Yes.
So I don't know anything about it. Terrible. What happened?
The only information I've seen is that the dog got a hold of both of the kids. The mom was bit pretty bad, is still in the hospital.
Did the dog have rabies or something? I mean, what made the
I
dog?
don't-
How long was the dog in the family for?
That I don't
Was
know.
this a rescue? Like, what's the history?
It was
of the
an
dog?
adult dog. I know that.
Like, did the dog grow up with the kids, or did the dog used to be the kids and the kids have replaced the dog? I don't know, man. I don't know.
I would say, first of all, learn how to fight a dog, because if you watch dog attack fights, people are trying to stop the dog from biting them instead of attacking the dog themselves. And anybody can take down a 100-pound dog if you're being more aggressive than that dog. But number two, that's why I don't deal with those types of breeds, just because if something happened, that's what gets brought up. Oh, it was a pit bull, or it looked like a pit bull, or whatever. You know what I mean?
So should I not own a supercar because dipshits crash them? I mean, that's the same.
No, but that's you're under control of the car. You might not have control of that dog all the time. And any dog can bite anybody,
That's
but
what I was
this
gonna
one is
say.
in the news because it's a pit bull.
Like, I had a
Yeah.
little tiny 8-pound Chihuahua that bit the shit out of people.
Yeah, I got big light yesterday.
I mean, I don't feel like the breed of the dog makes as much of a difference as the training, the temperament, the treatment,
like Shannon.
that kind of thing.
It's the same thing with guns. Like we talk about, people won't question a
lever
gun.
action.
Yeah, so if you have an AR or a lever action, you can still do accomplish the same goal, but one is going to get the news coverage.
Right,
know?
but I would hope that no little pussy out there
Yeah.
bought a lever gun because the AR looked too mean. Shannon had a Rottweiler that I have no doubt would have killed me every time we went over there. Like every time we were at his house, he'd have to put the dog out because the dog would fucking just kill people. I don't think it ever killed anybody, but it definitely, like, you weren't getting in that fucking house for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Hard situation, man.
I don't know.
Live someplace fucking free where you don't have those problems. I mean, but it killed some kids, so I don't know.
And that's what I meant about fighting a dog. Like, you might end up pretty fucked up. You might end up in the hospital. But if that dog has your kid in its mouth, what are your options?
What I've seen is, like, breaking up dog fights.
You get bit.
You always get bit. The way to break up a dog fight is you grab one of the dogs by the back legs and you pull back. I've gotten a hold of a tail and pulled on it, and luckily that tail's stout enough. I think you can damage a dog that way.
Yeah.
But the back legs, it just takes the drive and the push off of the dog, and you can kind of control the dog at that point. I don't know.
That's just, I mean, watch dog attacks videos. They are all always just pushing the dog off and telling them to stop, and that's where you get all the damage.
I mean, kill the dog. I mean, if the dog is attacking your kid, I mean, kill the fucking dog. Are you not armed?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you could just shoot it or even try to stab it if that's all you had. But if you're the aggressor, if you're the one with the aggression there, you can defeat.
Always be super careful too. Like, I'm gonna stab the dog, right? A lot of people, you'll grab something and stab right into your hand, right?
Yeah.
We saw a dude walked up to a guy at a restaurant and grabbed a motherfucker by the head and just slammed him fucking 20 times onto the table.
His hand was
in there. Yeah, he fucked like that dude. That dude could have very well died. But he broke the shit out of his hand. Like, you need to. What you perceive as happening in your mind is always great. What actually happens, probably not what you pictured. I can picture myself doing parkour, but every time I try to do parkour, I'm really fucked up the next day. It doesn't work like it does in my imagination.
He's like, my knee hurts really bad.
Have you guys seen that trend? It's mostly on TikTok where you do a handstand next to a wall.
Yeah.
So I'm convinced I can do that. Like, I know I can. I've got massive upper body strength. I know I can't, but in my mind, I know I can. I've got massive upper body strength, and I used to be super athletic. I think I can do it. I get told no every time. I just go up to a wall, like, get away from that wall. You're gonna break your ass.
What do they do once they're up there?
So basically, what they'll do is they'll put their toe on the wall, right, and see where their foot is, and then they turn around, they put their foot up on the wall, and they stand on their hands and they spread their legs, like in a split, right, with the toe touching the wall.
Do a handstand.
Is this all girls?
Yeah.
Not all girls.
You probably shouldn't be.
Not all girls, but.
Is this just a show cooter on Instagram?
No, it's from the other way. So they're facing the wall. They put their foot up there to pivot. So they keep their foot pressing against the wall and spin themselves around. So now their hands are on the ground.
Could you do upside doggy style?
It's like that.
What?
Could it be like a handstand doggy style?
Like the wheelbarrow. Yeah.
Well.
Can you stand on your hands?
No. That's what I was gonna say.
You're about to learn how.
I've seen it so many times. I'm like, surely I can do that. But then I look around, and we don't have a single wall that is not populated by something that if my foot moves and I fall, I'm gonna fucking hurt myself.
So I want to do it on a non-drywall wall,
right?
Because I'm gonna put my foot through it,
right?
All right,
John just challenged you to try it.
That's all the question. I'll even put a match.
That's just because he wants to fuck me that way.
I only make love to you.
Whatever. If that was the case, we wouldn't be together.
All right, that's all the questions. I don't know how long that was. I would just break it down however. I wouldn't edit any of that bullshit out of there. I'd leave everything there. I think we answered everybody's questions.
I think we did.
I know you didn't get some of the answers you probably were looking for, maybe, and maybe some of it's not useful to your application, but that was real answers and real conversation. Hope you enjoyed them, and
we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Turn that shit off.
Yeah, man, I'm talking about realest, one of the realest to try. My family, SOE, got the tools to survive. Yeah, I don't